Stars, stripes and screeching tyres. Welcome to round 4 of Red Bull Global Rallycross as we celebrate America's birthday with the servicemen and women of Marine Corps Air Station New River. Power is the name of the game on this runway turn racetrack. Will Ken Block rack up win number 2? Can Tanner Faust or Sebastian Eriksson repeat their Daytona magic? And does Scott Speed finally break through for his first win of 2015? Anything can happen, so it's anyone's race. This is Red Bull Global Rallycross New River. It is a beautiful day as America's Independence Day weekend continues. It's sunny, it's hot, and it's going to be full of fast action. Because this is the first time that an active US military installation is being used for a championship motorsport event. And we've got a capacity crowd to see who will win. We've had 3 winners so far this year. The championship leader at the moment from Sweden, Sebastian Eriksson. He is just ahead of the American Ken Block. Ken Block, last year's runner-up. And in third position, Tanner Faust, he won at Daytona. But Townsend Bell, as we come into New River, are we going to see our 4th different winner in 4 different rounds?
Absolutely possible, Toby. I mean, look at this venue. This place is just drowning in horsepower. That Super Stallion, 12,000 horsepower. We've got almost 12,000 horsepower in this Rallycross paddock. But this track, again, is wide open, not nearly as technical as the first 2 rounds. I believe that gives almost anybody in this field a chance to win here today.
Now then, just over there is the racetrack on an active runway. Take us through it.
Well, this track is really, again, the widest and possibly the fastest track we've seen. It starts here all the way down in turn 1. There's a big, long asphalt launch from your starting grid, and turn 1 is super wide open like the old Cleveland IndyCar race. Your penalty box is driver's right, just out of turn 1. If you jump a start, that's where you're going to live for a stop-and-go penalty. You go through a wide-open kink in turn 2, and then heavy braking for turn 3 on the asphalt, but then a dirt transition right at the exit, and then you hit that tabletop jump. You go into a left-hand hairpin in turn 5. Very tricky through there, lots of different lines, lots of guys experimenting for pace, and then back through a right-hand asphalt turn to complete your lap. Now, your Joker lap is right here. It's on the dirt, and it's in the middle of the track. A little bit different for us this race. You can shave about, 3 or 4 seconds by taking that Joker dirt lap. Going to be fascinating to see how things play out today, and again, could be anybody's race.
What an atmosphere that we've got here as the championship is continuing to be headed by Sebastian Eriksson, 9 points ahead of Ken Block, and in third, Tanner Faust. So our top 3 guys, the only winners so far this year. Nelson Piquet Jr., 32 back, Arpin, Dine, Speed, Wieman, Sandell and Isaacson rounding out the top 10. But there's been already some problems in the heats today for Andretti.
Oh, and Scott Speed has just had such a difficult season. You can see the fire underneath the engine cover there of that Volkswagen. Engine gone, had to replace the engine now to see if he can get it back on track for the semi-final round. Volkswagen's just had such a difficult time with mechanical issues, and this was Tanner Faust in the yellow Rockstar car. That was Ken Block that got into the side of him, but that was not heavy contact, and it destroyed the suspension. The wheel tire came flying off, so the Volkswagen's still pretty fragile for side-to-side contact, and Tanner's like, man, I don't know what to say. We'll see if he can get back out in his Volkswagen.
So let's see if Faust can make it to the semi-final. The weather, it is nicely warm. Not as hot as it was at Daytona a fortnight ago, but the temperature 87, a little bit of a breeze, humidity up there 60%. I don't think we're going to have a thunderstorm such as we had in practice here on Friday. And this is how the afternoon is going to shake out. 2 semi-final races, the top 3 of which will automatically advance to the final at the line. The last chance qualifier will see the top 4 going to the back end of the grid for the final, and we'll have a 10-car final over 8 laps of this New River course. And once in the race, the drivers must take the Cobalt Tools Joker lap. Now here is our royal purple grid for the first of our semis. The reigning champion from Finland, Veman, ahead of Arpin and then Ken Block. And then on the second row we have got the other Ford Fiesta of Nelson Piquet Jr. No Isaacson, no Faust. Townsend, they haven't quite got the Faust car out after that suspension damage, and I think there's some more ongoing problems with the Subaru.
On board here with Ken Block. And again, he has been fast and fearless this weekend, not afraid to show a little contact in that first corner either.
So he's just banged it into first gear. He's holding the car on the handbrake, and then the revs will rise. When the red lights go out, we wait for the green, and we are racing here at New River. Ken Block on the right-hand side, Arpin in the middle. Veman on the left-hand side is going to get squeezed into this first corner. They all get squeezed at the very first time of asking.
But Steve Arpin ping-pongs his way off of both cars and has a nice lead going to the dirt section. Heavy braking here for turn 3.
PK in fourth position at the moment. Long right-hander. We're riding on board with Ken Block, second place in last year's championship as we go onto the dirt for the first time.
And look at Steve Arpin and Ken Block both going for the Cobalt Tools Joker lap. And that's Weeman sliding wide. PK might have a line up the inside.
So
this first lap, Toby, it is so slick on the dirt. They water it down to keep the dust down. It is like an ice rink, the drivers tell me, each time they go out for a new race.
So the leading two have taken the Cobalt Tools Joker lap, and that's about as big of an advantage that we have seen from a Joker lap.
And Toby, you can see, look at how Ken Block tries to square off that very fast, wide open turn 1. He's looking for a straight exit. I don't believe that he's seen a time advantage, though. It looks like that gap only grew with Steve Arpin. But now we come to where he is very comfortable, Ken Block, on this dirt section. Watch as he tosses this thing into the second left hairpin and tries to get a straight drive off. The grip is up the inside, right up the inside on that dry section. Arpin's gone wide. And
Block has a bit of a moment, and the car just stutters to a halt just for a moment. I remind you that the top 3 will automatically advance to the supercar final. So at the moment it's Arpin, it's Block, and it's Veman who may advance. But Veman has got quite an advantage over Piquet Jr., some just under 4 seconds or so, but those two at the back have yet to take their Cobalt Tools Joker lap. There is your reigning champion from 2014, and still amazingly a man who has yet to win a global rallycross race.
Well, a final. Yeah, the final. But it hasn't been for lack of pace, but you win a championship this series by staying out of trouble and being consistent. It's the mechanicals or the heavy contacts that will get you, especially in the start of these races. And Weeman is probably one of the more conservative guys on the start, but it's paid off. Now we're on board with Nelson Piquet here on the House Hydroxy Cut car. And he now takes his Cobalt Tools Joker lap. And let's see where he comes out. Not enough to beat Ken Block, but enough to move into the third position, we think, unless Weeman can drive up the inside. No, now Weeman still has the Joker in the bag.
So in theory, on the stagger as it unravels, Veman should get that third position back. Still up in leads from Block as they continue around this near 1 mile course that is laid out on the active runway there. It's a tremendous feeling to be here in front of billions of dollars worth of military equipment, and I have to say, still millions of dollars worth of supercars.
Yeah, for sure. This is a lot of fun to be here, and so neat to celebrate the men and women of our military on 4th of July weekend. I don't think you could ask for a better venue.
And a packed crowd as well. They're still queuing to get in as the Joker is taken by Yoni Weeman. He's going to slot into third position, just as we discussed, but now he's right on the tail of Ken Block, so Ken Block has got to look and see if he can get past Arpin in front of him, but also look in his mirrors and defend against Yoni Weeman.
And Weeman had to make the decision, as we said all last season, about risk versus reward, and now he's got to decide, I've got a transfer spot to get to the final. How hard do I want to push to improve my starting position in that final?
Veman currently 8th in this year's championship on 70 points, comparing to his teammate Sebastian Eriksson's 140 points. So from now on in, Veman has got to finish every round.
Well, and he's going to need to win some too to make up that points deficit. White flag lap next time
look
by
at
as
this.
Ken Block forces his way through.
And he goes through ahead of Steve Arpin, side by side between Ken Block on the right-hand side. He's getting right up close to the barrier, and Ken Block's experience on the dirt in rallying has really come to the fore on the dirt here in North Carolina. He's got ahead of Arpin. That's a great drive.
That was the classic bump and run, and I'm sure Arpin's going to be pretty hot that he didn't see that coming and wasn't able to defend up the inside.
But there is, Townsend, a lot of dust, and maybe you just can't see what's happening behind you with your mirror because there's so much dust going into that hairpin. That might be a factor as the day progresses.
That sounds like a perfectly good excuse, but I'm not buying it, Toby. Ken Block knows exactly where he is.
So then, as they go off the tarmac, onto the dirt again, down to that hairpin where Block snuck ahead just a lap ago. He's got the wheels turned, the car rotates, but this is an opportunity for Arpin, who doesn't quite capitalize upon it. He was in early, but he drifted wide on the exit. So Ken Block still leading this semi-final. The top three will advance. Block, Arpin, Veman as they come onto the tarmac for the last time and now build the speed up to 6th gear at 125 miles an hour. And look how wide and open it is into this first corner of the lap, as they've now just got one more corner to go. Block pushes 650 horsepower all the way to the floor, and he takes the checkered flag to win this semi ahead of Arpin and ahead of the 2014 Red Bull Global Rallycross champion from Finland, Joni Veman. We ride on board with Block, and that is relief. He's through to the final, and he's got plenty of time for the Hoonigan crew to prepare the car for that final.
You know what I think is interesting about Ken Block is just how comfortable he is winning races now. He has the confidence, as you see it here, up the inside of Steve Arpin. Brilliant car control. Just a little right rear tap, frankly. I mean, that was not a forceful move. That was a very precise finesse pass. And I think Ken's come such a long ways. As we see, the kids are having a blast here.
Inside a Super Cobra. What better place to spend your Independence Day weekend? A fantastic afternoon that we are having here at New River. The Marine Corps Air Station really has given the Red Bull Global Rallycross Circus the very warmest of welcomes. And they've already seen the semi-final result with Ken Block ahead of Steve Arpin and Veman, ahead of PK Jr., Isaacson and Faust. And I think Kristen is down there in the paddock with Steve Arpin. Kristen?
Yeah, Steve had the lead up until that last lap with a little bump and run by Ken Block. Did you see Ken coming?
No, but my spotter told me all about it. It was this Lone Bro Chip Ganassi Racing Ford has been so good all weekend. We've been working really hard on it. They watered the track so much before we went out there. That was the first time I've been out in the water all weekend. And that's where Ken just masters this stuff. It was a clean pass he had. It was awesome. But we'll, yeah, look at him. See, I'm in the wrong groove. I deserve to get past there, but I won't make that mistake again. I promise you that.
Steve Arpin going for his first win in the series.
Well, the track full of fun, and Arpin being so honest about it. So let's have a quick look at our GoPro course preview.
I'd like to thank the Red Bull Global Rallycross team for bringing this exciting race event to Marine Corps Air Station New River in honor of the United States of America's Independence Day and our service members and their families who have sacrificed so much in its defense. I'm going to ask the Air Station Senior Enlisted Marine Sergeant Major Oldenburg to introduce our Marines for the ride-along.
Thanks, Theo. And when the opportunity came out to find that deserving Marine throughout the air station to get a GoPro ride, we solicited all the Marines, but Sergeant Caldwell, his name, quickly rose to the top of the equation. Multiple combat tour, subject matter expert in his MOS, and he instructs the instructors of that future platform. Sergeant Caldwell, on behalf of the Marine Corps and Red Bull Global Rallycross, I want to give you an opportunity to go out in the GoPro car and have fun. Tear it up, Marine. We appreciate what you do. Sir?
And I'd just like to thank the United States Marine Corps for giving me the opportunity to come out here for this once-in-a-lifetime ride-along opportunity. I'm really thrilled and stoked to be here.
And I'm Joni Veman, and this is your GoPro course preview.
Ready? Absolutely.
So here we are off a really long and wide straight, going down to the first turn, a bit over 90 degrees, hard braking, trying to keep it smooth here. We have space on the outside, but just keeping it tight all the way up 6th gear, really fast down here. Quite tricky braking, trying to keep it tight and get a good line onto the gravel so the car is straight when we hit the gravel. Over the jump, it's a pretty small one, we barely get air. Into a hairpin, it's quite tricky, you need to be pretty aggressive going into it, but still have a good exit all the way up to 5th gear. Now we're coming to the trickiest place of the track. Good on the brakes. Here we have some sand on the tarmac, so we just need to be smooth and wait the car for a settle, and then we go over the finish.
That was absolutely amazing.
And that was your GoPro course preview.
And what a way to see this course as well. But we have no time to wait because we're straight into the second semi-final. Sandell heads the Royal Purple Grid ahead of Sebastian Eriksson and also Austin Dine. And then on the second row, Brian Deegan making his first appearance for 2015 in the supercar ahead of Bucky Lasek. But Scott Speedy did manage to get that new engine in.
Not yet, but he hopefully will be out for the LCQ as we get a closer look at the Metal Militia man himself, Brian Deegan, who's been very quick in some of the preliminary rounds, on board now with Sebastian Eriksson. He's really been the story so far this year. Rookie coming in doing so well. Another Olsberg driver coming up through the ranks.
He's leading the championship by 9 points at the moment, winning his very first Global Rallycross round at Daytona just a couple of weeks ago. Red lights go out, wait for the green, here we go! Good start by Eriksson, but he's been shadowed by Dine, and Eriksson cuts across the front of Patrick Sandell in the black and white Ford Fiesta, and Austin Dine scrabbles for grip as he turns it into the right-hander. I rather fancy that Eriksson might have the advantage, and yes he does as we ride on board with Austin Dine, who's in second place.
A nice start from Austin Dine. Let's see how tidy they are down here in turn 3. Deegan looking to the outside. If he can stay there, he'd have position, but no, Sandell takes the position.
Eriksson from Dine, from Sandell, from Deegan, from Lasek. It's going to be Eriksson who takes the Joker lap, as does Deegan, as does Lasek as well. So Eriksson extending his lead ahead of Deegan at the moment.
And look at the power that these cars produce, over 600 horsepower, and that'll really factor into the final, Toby, in terms of tire wear. I talked to the Yokohama guys earlier today. They said we've got no issue in the final, but we're on board now with Bucky Lasek. Those tires just get a grind because of all of these right-hand corners. All the load is on the left-hand side, and it's a very long, sustained load. Watch Bucky Lasek here. Subaru has struggled so far on pace this year with these new cars, but so far, Lasek is in a transfer position.
And that's just what the Subaru squad need in 2015. Brand new car that they brought into Red Bull Global Rallycross this year, and they've had some technical problems, but it's not for the lack of trying for the drivers, Sverre Isaksson and also Bucky Lasek. We're on board with another Swede, as opposed to the one leading. This is Patrick Sandell. Lasek just going through. As there is Eriksson continuing to lead with the yellow tail to that Ford Fiesta. From Deegan, from Lasek, and Sandell. Well, he may well have those windshield wipers working, because he's going to have some dirt on them. And Sandell is going to get through, is he? Is it going to stick? Yes, it does.
A brilliant move up the inside, and remember, Sandell and Dine both still have the Joker lap to take, so we'll see when they exercise that option. They might be able to threaten the leaders here.
Over the jump they go, and it's from one kind of dirt to another, because the dirt that they're on is really, well, it's just the turf, it's just the grass that's been taken off the edge of the airfield here, so there's a lot of grip there for these guys to put some 600 horsepower down onto the ground.
And you can start to appreciate why the Red Bull GRC crew has to water the track between rounds, because it goes from ultra slick to dusty so fast. As you can see, we were on board there with Austin Dine, what the visibility was like. Now, Sandell breaking away from Bucky Lasek, chasing down those leaders. He still has that Joker lap.
Well, as the Osprey looks on menacingly from the background, these cars really do hang on through the quick right-hander in front of the grandstands as we are on board with Patrick Sandell, jinking one way then the other. Was that a bit of a double bite of the cherry? Was there a problem there for Lasek? It looked like...
I think Lasek just over-rotated there coming to the dirt, and it caught out Austin Dine. He was not expecting him to spin that much. As you see, Austin just avoids
Lassick.
contact. Lassick stalls the car.
Oh, that's cruel.
And that can happen in these high turbocharged boost cars. If you get too low in the revs, they can fall flat on their face, as it just happened. Now back with our leaders as Ericsson leads Deegan. Sandell and Dine still has that joker lap, but that mix-up with Lassick might have gapped him too much.
On board with Brian Deegan, really building the speed. There is the leader in front of us, the number 38 that we're riding with. In touch, closing, flicks it to the side as he gets onto the dirt, jumps over the top, and the soft landing. Deegan is surely the quickest man on the racetrack at the moment.
He's been very fast here, and in these hot conditions, I saw him wearing a cool suit, and I said, oh, a cool suit for the Metal Militia. He said, well, I lost a kidney a few years ago, and I said, all right, fair point, I'll shut up now.
I remind you that the top three will advance, so in second place, where we were riding with Deegan, guaranteeing himself a place on the grid for the final. But the championship leader at the moment, Ericsson, continues to lead not only the championship, but this semi-final. Sandell, third position for him at the moment in the all-new for 2015 Ford Fiesta. Sandell yet to take the joker lap together with Dine. As they start their last lap, they've got to take it in a moment.
Sandell's been so quick over these last two laps, I think he's got a legitimate chance to get to the lead here.
Okay then, okay, here he comes, he's got to go left. You look at the top of your screen, Sandell goes into the tight left-hander. He's got to keep the momentum. Ericsson on the right-hand side, it's going to be nothing between them. The two Swedes side by side. Ericsson's got the inside line. He knows he has to defend, but he might go a little bit too wide. Who's going to come out as the leader? It could be Deegan. Unbelievable. Deegan holds his second place. He's going to push Sandell wide so that he's going to have to go right round the outside. Deegan could have a tight line on the inside as he goes through.
Deegan with the crossover. They're three wide.
Three wide, one more corner to go. Ericsson is going to win the semi-final ahead of Sandell. Deegan gets third position. What a finish, and that is exactly why the Cobalt Tools Joker Lap has been positioned where it is here this weekend to give us a showdown finish right to the flag.
And look at how happy Deegan is. He finished third, but he's smiling because he had a blast on that last half a lap. There were so many over-unders. The crossover was exchanging back and forth, dirt, asphalt. Fantastic racing.
That is great motorsport, and that is why we love Global Rallycross. It all came down to the last corner. Fantastic. But Deegan knows he can only be happy with himself if he's on the top step of the podium come the day is out. Ericsson wins ahead of Sandell and Deegan in nearly a photo finish. They will automatically advance to the final. Austin, Dine, Lassick and Speed, they will go through to the LCQ. Now, earlier this week, some of the supercar and lights drivers had an opportunity to join a Marine Combat Fitness session to test their physical fitness against America's finest. Go.
It's not every day that you can be able to participate or even be at a air base or military camp, so it feels really good, and then especially being here to celebrate the 4th of July with all the troops. It's going to be really fun.
I was in the Finnish military when I was 19. I was in like a sporting military, so I got away with a half year. I mean, I don't think it's nothing compared to this.
Being here on 4th of July weekend, it's pretty cool. I mean, being American, it's kind of special. Being around the Marines and for what they do for us, it's pretty cool.
They did fairly well, sir. They performed first class, and they actually put it in their all, and that's what the Marine Corps asks of every Marine.
So they've been giving their all for the physical fitness and also with the driving. Blog Arpin Veman, they have qualified into the final together with Ericsson, Sandell and Deegan. But in the championship, it means that Faust, who's third in the title chase at the moment, is not in the final because he's going to be in the LCQ. We've had some dramatic semi-final action, and the semi-final B finale was just brilliant.
Oh, this is fantastic as Weeman throws out his tail there, clips Sandell, pushes him back a little bit, but then it was Brian Deegan charging up the inside, having a go. And here they came to the line. It was Weeman, Sandell, and then Deegan.
And Brian Deegan did a brilliant drive to the line, and down there in the paddock, Kristen is with Brian Deegan.
It's Brian Deegan's first race out here this season, and what a way to start it. A spectacular race for the final stretch. We're going to show you a replay here if you can take us through that final lap. Let's take a look at what happened out there.
Yeah, you know, start position's so important, so I was going for it last lap, you know, last turn. You got to go for it. So I ducked under him. We went synchronized slide here, and I'm like, all right, I may have him. And I started rubbing him. I'm like, that's some driving right there. We're going to rub on him. And I was going to make him fight for it. And then Sandell was smart. He cleared around the outside. But you know what? Not in the points, so it's all or nothing. That's the American way, right? We're going for glory right now, so going for the win.
All right, and GRC's all about rubbing, right, guys?
It certainly is. Deegan pretty happy with that in front of thousands and thousands of people. The queue coming in has been long all day here at New River. In the meantime, we've now got a special message from the Ford drivers and their teams.
I just wanted to say a special thank you to all the men and women serving our country and giving us the freedom to race here this weekend. We can't wait to put on an awesome show for you guys.
Thanks everybody for your service. I come from a family with a father that served, and I genuinely appreciate everyone working very hard for our freedom. So thank you very much.
I want to say thank you to all our troops for fighting for our freedom.
To all the servicemen and women of New River, thanks for letting us race here.
Thank you!
The biggest crowd of 2015 for Red Bull Global Rallycross is here at Jacksonville, North Carolina on our Independence Day weekend. And since we're here at the Marine Corps Air Station New River, let's learn about how Royal Purple helps veterans.
So the reason why we did Manpower to Horsepower was a great opportunity for us to do something back for our veterans. Manpower to Horsepower rehabilitates veterans from the veterans military lifestyle to the civilian lifestyle, but they also do it from a motorsports side of things, and of course we're about motorsports. So definitely it was an opportunity for us to partner with the team, and we're very excited to continue this relationship. We're going on our 4th year with Sue and the folks at Manpower to Horsepower.
We started out to be able to give back to disabled veterans, and over the past 5 years it's evolved to where we have full automotive certifications, we have motorsport certifications. We just started a new CDL trucking program that we graduated our first class out of last month. Everyone in that program is now employed. We do whatever we can to get them reintegrated and back, becoming full productive civilians.
We have a lot of different avenues to pursue, mechanics and graphic arts, computers and what have you, and we just make those options available to them.
I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go after coming out of the military, and she gave me a direction, gave me something to look forward to.
Royal Purple has been with us for, I think, 4 or 5 years now, and sometimes I don't think this program would have made it if we didn't have that kind of help.
When these veterans are out there, they're writing a blank check, protecting our country, and we definitely want to do things for them. So when the opportunity presented itself to partner with Sue and her team, it was definitely a win-win for all of us, and we provide all the support that we can for their race team and their successes, and they in turn give it back to us.
Now, let's have a look at our New River final grid. Block from Arpin, Beeman, Ericsson, Sandell, Deegan, and from the LCQ, Lassick, Dine, PK Jr. and Isaacson have advanced. But there are 2 big names absent from the final grid. Tanner Faust, the winner from Daytona, 3rd in the championship. Scott Speed, the X Games gold medalist. A big non-score for 2 big hitters here this weekend. Meanwhile, here today at New River in North Carolina, Brian Deegan, it's his first event of the year in his Ford Fiesta, brand new car for this season, and immediately he's got himself into the final. The final, round 4 of the Red Bull Global Rallycross Championship is coming up in a few moments' time. Up now, though, in the Cobalt Tools of the race, some of the drivers tell us about the strategy of the Joker lap.
Joker lap is generally something that's a very strategic move. That's one that normally I allow my spotter to make because he has a better view of the track.
You need to see what everything's doing around you.
It's an important decision, especially depending on which track. If the Joker gives you a big advantage, you need to use the most out of it. You know, I've had a few races where I've gained 2, sometimes 3 positions in a Joker, and that's very, very hard to do, but you need to really time it perfectly.
Typically, the rule of thumb, if you get out front, you want to take it right away, just to protect yourself, get track position, and then just try and drive away and take advantage of the clean track, the clean air that you have.
Really, it comes down to how good you get off the line. If you're the first 3 cars, you're probably going to need to take the Joker lap right in the first possible opportunity. That way, somebody else doesn't take it and get in front of you and make you follow an entire lap right behind them. That only worsens your chance of getting in the lead.
Honestly, it's one of those things that you just have to play it by ear. Each and every race is its complete own set of circumstances on the Joker.
Oh, the cars are on the grid already. There is Ken Block, but up in the commentary position is the 2-time champion, Tanner Faust. You're not down there, unfortunately. How do you see that little moment that you had with Block earlier?
It's good to hear Ken's perspective on it, but yeah, from my seat, it's a little different. I don't know if he just didn't see me there or had a great start, actually. Beetle was really pulling on the 2 of them, and I was able to sneak all the way over to the inside. I didn't challenge Sandell there on the inside. I decided to stay right behind him and tuck inside. Ken, I think, was maybe trying to over-under on Sandell and just didn't see me there right behind him. And my suspension is gone, and it exits stage right in here. Ouch. A little bit of brake fluid left out there, but I'm glad that didn't go into the stands.
Well, you're 3rd in the championship coming into this race. You know you can win this year. You won the first Daytona. Let's see what you can do next time. In the meantime, this is our Royal Purple grid. Ericsson on the pole from Block from Sandell. That is your front row. It's Ford Fiestas all the way there. And on to row 2.
Yeah, moving further back, you've got Steve Arpin there, Johnny Weeman, and Brian Deegan, the Metal Militia, looking to make some moves from the outside.
And moving on to the 3rd row, we've got the Subaru of Bucky Lassick, Austin Dine, and Nelson Piquet Jr., fresh from winning his Formula E World Championship. And great to see Sverre Isaksson, a former European Rallycross champion, here on the back of our grid for our final, the Supercar final here at Marine Corps Air Station, New River, here at Jacksonville, North Carolina. Here is our championship leader, Sebastian Eriksson. 140 points compared to Ken Block's 131. Eriksson, a rookie, already a winner at Daytona. Block already won at Fort Lauderdale, the season opener. We're on board with Ken Block. He's holding the handbrake. Wait for those reds to go out. Wait for the greens to go, and we're underway. Oh, we got a staller. That looks like Ken Block. He nearly stalled it. Deegan's nowhere as well. As we go to the 4th corner, that's going to be Eriksson and Sandell. The Swedish House Mafia are underway already. So the 2 Swedes side by side. It's going to be Sandell who leads as they charge down to the dirt for the very first time.
And Toby, I don't see Ken Block anywhere. I think he's stranded somewhere out there on the track as we see Lassick. Here's Ken Block. He's right at the tail end of the field working on Austin Dine.
So Block, 2nd in the championship, got an awful lot of work to do. Who's taken the Joker for the first time? I can see that Bucky Lassick is one of them, Sandell's another one, and Block as well. So they managed to cut through the dust right from the word go.
Well, it's a tricky choice. You know, the Joker is a really big shortcut, almost 5 seconds. So Bucky, not one of the quickest cars, is now in front of a lot of the fastest cars. He may hold them up in the dust.
And he's got clear vision, hasn't he, through the dust as they charge into this quick corner. It's a corner, Tanner, of so many different lines.
It really is. You have to be careful, as Ken found out on that outside-in move.
We're on board with Sandell in the lead of this race, coming up over the jump for the 2nd time.
Sandell's been one of the quickest cars all weekend, so if he's able to pull away, could be a difficult race for some other guys.
Sandell, already a victor in Red Bull Global Rallycross. That was last year. That looked like Steve Arpin taking the Cobalt Tools Joker lap. There he comes on the left-hand side. We were riding on board there with Bucky Lassick. That Subaru's having a great afternoon.
And that was Steve Arpin taking the Joker lap as Arpin pulls off, avoids the tires to avoid the contact. And now Ken Block is shooting up the inside.
That's Ken Block. He's up into 4th position, right up behind Bucky Lassick. Ken Block, who just stalled the car on the line. Tanner, when you're so far behind at the beginning of the race, your anger is just limiting on the total red mist.
You really have some long braking zones, though. It requires a lot of discipline to get on the brakes early. You want to go in so deep and so hard every single time. It looked like Harpen ran over one of those runway lights, which may have done some damage to his car there and holding him up a bit.
There's Ken Block on the dirt, tight line into this corner. And what's the dirt like? It looks like, from our perspective, there's two different lines around that hairpin.
Yeah, the dirt when you're alone, you can really charge the braking hard. It's very slippery on the way out, but when somebody's behind you, you have to brake on the inside line, and it costs you a lot of time. Really is a great passing opportunity.
Ken Block battling with Nelson Piquet. There is the leader. That is Patrick Sandell. Second position right behind him is Joni Wiemann, the reigning champion. Then we've got Ken Block. Then we've got Piquet. Then we've got Arpin. Then we've got Lassing on Austin Dine, who's having a great weekend on the dirt. Dine really progressing as a GRC driver.
And from a championship standpoint, Toby, you've got Sebastian Eriksson in dead last right now. He's had some sort of issue. He is 14 seconds further back from Sandell, and there it is. Left front tire is locked up, Tanner. I don't know if that's a brake caliper, a driveline issue. What do you figure happened? It really looks like he's even got a puncture, so he's got some damage there. It looks like it's moved the suspension one way or the other and mashed it up against the bodywork.
That's big news. The championship leader coming into this race is going to non-score. Can he limp it with 5 laps to go? That tire's going to wear out. In fact, it may well fall off by the time he's going to get lapped in just a couple of seconds' time by Patrick Sandell. Hasn't this championship turned around? And here we are at the 4th round of only 12.
It's nice to see Patrick Sandell with a clear run. He had so many difficulties at Daytona. He was very quick there, but just had all kinds of problems. Had a big crash with Ken Block on one of the final starts, and now it is clear in front of him as we see Deegan gets into the finish line. Barriers, big hit. The right front destroyed on the Rockstar car.
That's a big hit for Brian Deegan, making his debut in the series here this weekend. That's a live picture.
Red flag, Toby.
He's okay. The red flag being thrown, hardly a surprise. And Brian Deegan taking a massive hit on the front right of that car. And let's have a look at the replay and let's see what happens. This is the camera. Oh, he clipped that. And then he went into the wall just on the right-hand side. That's a big, big accident at a speed, Tanner, of possibly 120 miles an hour. So whilst we have a red flag, we'll just regroup and we'll be back here with the resumption of round 4 of Red Bull Global Rallycross in 2015. We've had a red flag here at Jacksonville, North Carolina for our 4th round of 12 of Red Bull Global Rallycross, the supercar final. Brian Deegan has had a big, big hit with his Ford Fiesta, and he's out in the car, he's okay, but this is how it happens.
Well, Tanner, you can see Deegan looking up the back of Austin Dine and just drives straight into the tires. Not sure how that happened. Just a massive hit. You can see he was looking for blood. He saw that he could get an inside exit right there, saw a little opening, but it just wasn't there. Popped out from behind the bumper. Couldn't see the tires at all before he made contact. The General with a massive impact here. You can see our flagman leaning back, but glad to see that Deegan is okay. Almost took out Eriksson in the process. He was just minding his own business. Here we are on board with Deegan. He's looking up the back of Dine. Now he's going to pop out. Oh, bam! Forgot about those. Good gosh, those are both hard hits. Massive impact.
Look at Sandell on the right-hand side. Wait for the greens. Here we go. Block gets away just as he didn't last time. Sebastian Eriksson at the back is in real trouble. Block leads into the first corner. Wiemann and it's Sandell side by side. We're looking from Nelson Piquet Jr.'s car, 4th position as we come round the tremendously fast quick right-hander to go off the tarmac and onto the dirt. It is falling into the hands of Ken Block at the moment.
And further back, Austin Dine working up the inside of a big pack to go into that 5th position. Let's see who takes that Joker lap.
And Sebastian Eriksson has limped past our commentary position. He's probably not going to score very well here at all.
And that was Block, followed by Wiemann, followed by Austin Dine on the Cobalt Tools Joker lap as we're on board with Sandell.
And Tanner, when you're coming through the dust like this, you must pray for the tarmac to be there.
Well, you do, and really they were having to get defensive, Wiemann and Sandell going into that 3rd corner, but now that the Joker lap has spread things out a little bit, Sandell can click off some laps, chase down Ken. He's been faster than Ken all weekend. Now is his chance to try to put the numbers down on paper.
There is Ken Block, just dancing the car into the right-hander. Wiemann next up, then Austin Dine. Then it looks like Patrick Sandell. It is. Then it is Piquet Jr. Into the right-hander he goes and onto the dirt. There's a little bit less moisture on the dirt, maybe a little bit more grip.
Yeah, once it does dry out a little bit, actually it's faster. And here you can see on the outside there's a cushion that builds up, and you can charge the braking harder and harder. There you see it didn't quite work out, but it's starting to build up, especially on this last turn before the tarmac. The driver will start pushing harder on the outside. As soon as they don't have to be defensive on the inside, they can go faster.
Steve Arpin looking to see if he can get round the black and white car of Patrick Sandell, but wasn't to be on that particular manoeuvre. I remind you that Sebastian Eriksson, the championship leader, is pulling off. He is out of this race. Wow, what a season the Oldsberg's cars are having, with Joni Weeman hardly scoring a big score so far. However, what can he do here today? Currently in second behind the leader Block. 650 horsepower launching these cars over the top of the ramp. There goes Block, there goes Weeman, there goes Austin Dine, and that's PK Jr. taking the Cobalt Tools Joker lap.
And look at PK is going to come out right behind Weeman and Block for third position. Excellent play there by PK. Tanner, it looks so hard to take the Joker, not knowing what the grip level is going to be like after they water it. It's so true, because that part of the track is never really getting beat in like the normal track. So it is very dangerous to pull in there, and it's an incredibly slow turn. It is really tightening up, though, as Weeman is starting to gain on Ken.
He certainly is. Very different setup between the Hoonigan Racing Ford Fiesta of Block and the Oldsberg Ford Fiesta of Weeman in second place. Is that paying dividends to Weeman? What about the tyre life? What about the temperature in the tyres at the moment?
If you see just in that third corner, Ken Block is sliding a bit sideways through there, even taking a longer line, more distance, while Weeman is tucking to the inside, saving tires, going less distance. It could last the 8 laps, well now 4 laps, much better.
Okay, Ken Block still in the lead, but he's going to be looking in his mirrors. His spotter will be talking to him on his headset inside that crash helmet. Joni Weeman putting the pressure on as we come back on to the runway here at New River, charging down from 6th gear, down a few gears into the right-hander. White flag being prepared.
And you can see, I think that was Sebastian Eriksson still trying to lip around to see if he can score any points, but he's under 5 miles an hour as the leaders come by to take the white flag.
There you have them rushing past. Ken Block got to keep his cool here. What a turnaround of form for Ken Block. Remember, in the first race, he struggled to get it off the line, and he had to do all of the work from the middle of the pack. And here he is.
And Weeman must have had an issue.
Where's Weeman?
That's PK.
Where's Weeman? Weeman has blown an engine. He's on the side of the racetrack. So Weeman, that now means that's Sandell coming into second position. And there is PK Jr. in third still as they're coming off the dirt. But here comes PK Jr. And what drive can he get?
We've seen this all day long. The over-under. Can PK do anything in this final corner?
In we go. There goes Block. The race is his. Sandell in second place. Tight line on the way in. And on the way out, it looks as if it's going to be Sandell, but it's Ken Block who wins his second race of 2015, and he wins it at New River. What a turnaround of form for Ken Block. Second place goes to Patrick Sandell. PK Jr. gets third position. Ken Block over the moon with his second victory. We'll hear from our winner after the break. Ken Block confirmed as winning ahead of Sandell and PK Jr. Dine so close to another podium, but a Ford whitewash at the top end. Eriksson struggling, Deegan, he was out. But for Ken Block, it now means he's won his 5th Global Rallycross round. He's now top with Scott Speed, Tanner Faust and Toppy Heikkinen as the most successful Global Rallycross racer as the championship moves into its 5th season. Tonight at 7 Eastern, NASCAR returns to NBC live from Daytona with a Sprint Cup Series Coke Zero 400 powered by Coca-Cola. In the meantime, congratulations to Ken Block, an American winning on Independence Day weekend.